Pawa Radio. Pawa Alexis on the beat.
Wewe nani? Unanipigia simu kama nani? Eti niachane mume wako nani? Unajua Nadia kweli mimi nani?
We ni nani? Unampigia simu kama nani? Hata utoe vya ndani, atarudi hapa kwangu tu nyumbani.
Anapenda vidogodogo, mwenzako anavimumunya. Mwanamke unapenda zogo, tafuta jambo hilo la kufanya. Oh, ni wangu, huyo nasema ni wangu. Oh, ni wangu, kubali yaishe ni wangu.
Oh, ni wangu, huyo nasema ni wangu. Oh, ni wangu, mwishowe ataisha ni wangu. Hivyo vimeseji na kuficha simu havinishtui. Atachoka nawe, wengine aende, yule hakagui.
Kelele ya chura haizui ng'ombe kunywa maji. Kwangu habanduki, kwako hatoboki, na kwa maana ye
anapenda wife material, mwenzako anakudanganya. Mwanamke una kasoro, tafuta jambo hilo la kufanya. Oh, ni wangu, huyo nasema ni wangu. Oh, ni wangu, mwishowe ataisha ni wangu.
oh, ni wangu, huyo nasema ni wangu. Oh, ni wangu, kubali yaishe ni wangu. Mi sitakoma, koma, koma, koma. Mi sitakoma, koma, koma, mama.
Ntakukomboa, komboa, komboa, komboa. Ntakukomboa, komboa, komboa, msichana we. Oh, ni wangu, huyo nasema ni wangu. Oh, ni wangu, mwishowe ataisha ni wangu.
Oh, ni wangu, huyo nasema ni wangu. Oh, ni wangu, kubali yaishe ni wangu.
Oh, ni wangu, huyo nasema ni wangu. Oh, ni wangu, mwishowe ataisha ni wangu.
Oh, ni wangu, huyo nasema ni wangu. Oh, ni wangu, kubali yaishe ni wangu.
Pawa Radio. Pawa
To the Most High, Jah Rastafari, walk fire, raise it up, buck it up. Necessary noise, walk right. Necessary noise in the youth. This unnecessary noise in the youth. This unnecessary noise in the youth. This unnecessary noise in the youth. That's my room when I wake up early in the morning. Say a prayer and I'll be okay. If you always get lazy, you better stop yawning. As for guidance, never go astray. Now that you got your Jaja protection, release all your tension. He's watching over you all day. Get to you to better pray, oh you better pray, and watch all your problems just fly away.
Usiku wote umelala, mashida ukiwaza, chuki umekujaza, matendo ya wengine kwako nayo ya kukataza kuishi vyema kwa raha. Funga macho, weongea na Mola, umweleze nini kitakutoa kwenye mtego uliokushika. Ni baba yako pia rafiki yako.
That's my room when I wake up early in the morning. Say a prayer and I'll be okay. If you always get lazy, you better stop yawning. Ask for guidance, never go astray. Now that you got your Jaja protection, release all your tension. He's watching over you all day. Get to you to better pray, oh you better pray, and watch all your problems just fly away.
A long time now, get a youth you a suffer just to get you some lunch and some supper. Things them go bad, always wrong, never proper. Check it mtaani mpaka leo tuna suffer. In me ghetto there is no holiday. Man I lose direction and now them turn gay. Children have no toys and yes we want to play. Don't you worry, just kneel down and pray. Say, come not to use, come not to use, come not to use and praying with me.
Bless my room when I wake up early in the morning. Say a prayer and I'll be okay. No, if you always get lazy, you better stop yawning. As for guidance, never go astray. Now that you got your Jaja protection, release all your tension. He's watching over you all day. Get to you to better pray, oh you better pray, and watch all your problems just fly away.
Never put a scissor upon your naughty dreadlocks. Babylon, these are creating so much tension. Oh, get us through all this separation. So much tension, oppression in the nation. Still we go strong with the Jaja dedication. Get all you confused, oh, this drug abusing. Please, Jaja, help them, their mind, them are losing. Now we are kneel, together we are praying.
Get your youth, when I like a million, digging for your deeper roots. When a complication, fire will reach you a suit. With an intervention from the one who gave the youth. That's a dedication. See, no more suffering, no more struggling. I get your youth. See, no more suffering, no more struggling. I get your youth, no suffering.
When I wake up early in the morning, say a prayer and I'll be okay. No, if you always get lazy, you better stop yawning. Ask for guidance, never go astray. Now that you got your Jaja protection, release all your tension. He's watching over you all day. Get to you to better pray, oh you better pray, and watch all your problems just fly away. When I wake up early in the morning, say a prayer and I'll be okay. No, if you always get lazy, you better stop yawning. Ask for guidance, never go astray. Now that you got your Jaja protection, release all your tension. He's watching over you all day. Get to you to better pray, oh you better pray, and watch all your problems just fly away.
Bless my room when I wake up early in the morning. Yeah, I bless my room when I wake up early in the morning. Yeah,
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
A very good morning to you, wherever you are tuning in from, wherever you're watching and listening to us from. Welcome. Officially, I welcome you to the Power Morning Drive Show. My name is Wanyoike. I am your captain, and we are cruising on this Power Morning Drive Show only on Power Radio from 8 a.m. all the way till 10 a.m. Remember, this is your home of bold conversations and everything that you need to know. Whatever is happening, you definitely want to get it from the Power Morning Drive Show. All right, now you can get in touch with us on our social media handles in case you want to request a song, in case you have any questions, in case you want to engage us. We are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. You can find us at Power Radio. If you have not yet checked us out on social media, do so, and also follow us, and we definitely will follow back. You can also get this live broadcast. We are on YouTube. Head out to our YouTube channel. Kindly subscribe, share, like, comment, watch, and do all the necessary things. We are at Power Radio, and you can also live stream on www.power254.org/Power Radio. Now, as it is the drill, let me first get you getting to work without bila tashwishi yoyote. Let me give you a quick traffic update. I know that yesterday we had a lot of the protest happened yesterday, and Nairobi looked as if it was a ghost town, but today things are a little bit almost back to normal. Right, so let's see. Let me start with Thika Road. Thika Road, as you head from Kariobangi, from Ruaraka intersection right there, all the way down till KCA University, it's bumper to bumper. And then from Mathare National Hospital all the way till Pangani, it's bumper to bumper. But inbound towards town, things get a little bit clearer as you move into that. Then we have industrial area, all the way from Charina Club and Restaurant as you go towards, away from Shujaa Mall, going towards town. Crazy. But after that, things become a little bit clearer as well. Where is this? We have Wanyoike, all the way from ABC Nairobi, ABC Place Nairobi. Things are painted already, especially inbound, and then it clears up all the way till the intersection around the where is this? This is the around the mall. Yes, in Westlands, things get a little bit thicker. Then they flow all the way into town around University Way and stuff. And then National Museum of Kenya, that road that leads towards into town rather, we have a little bit of a snarl up there as you head from Parklands heading in towards town. We have a little bit of a snarl, but things open up a little bit after that. I can see Lower Kabete Road. Today it's looking clearer. We only have a little snarl up around Zen Garden area, but as you go towards Westlands, especially inbound, things start looking good. Where is this? We also have Ngong Road. Yes, Ngong Road. From Prestige area, we have a little bit of a snarl up there. Things are not moving. Things are not moving. As you also go into where is this? From Junction Mall, things are clear. Then it gets a little bit snarly at Prestige Plaza shopping mall, and then from there we have a little bit of some flow. Valley Road looking not too shabby. Inbound, at least it's moving today. It's moving, especially from Daystar University as you go into where is this? As you head towards town and other parts of the Upper Hill area. Yeah. So, but in case you have any incidents that you see, in case you see any accidents or incidents, kindly let us know, and we will be sure to update all our listeners as we go across. Let me get into some music. When we come back, I do the local and international news roundup. Remember, this is the Power Morning Drive Show, and keep it right here on Power Radio.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Bandao, kimite sabare, ganda mite gipsulyenit kia soti aina. Kigetabi, engoma simisinga bayamge goma sina. Kilenji jeso alama like onge ayena ine. Amumite jeso yanje torit atatuliza bahari. Hatuta ogo pakamwe, tunasonga mbele, mbele, mbele. Tunasonga mbele. bandos. Kibendi enyiganate, amagitaptabeni. Many mountains to conquer, many victories to be won. We go carry the gold, there is no stopping. We go carry the gold, go, go. We go carry the gold, there is no stopping.
Make we carry the gold, gold, gold. Make we carry the gold, there is no stopping. Make we carry the gold, gold, gold. Make we carry the gold, there is no stopping.
Gaba, 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 gaba. Ekwatulagi. Gaba, 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 gaba. Ekwatulagi. Given the time. Hey, yele, yele,
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Them call me Arrow Boy.
Magic's anger on the beat.
Kama msuke mekupanda kwanzia leo niite daddy. Daddy yo. And when I hit that spot, baby call me honey. You know me? Asali nitadiririsha, utaipata kwa ndani. Vitendo na vipitisha, mambo yangu sifanyi gizani. Sakunipa alama za chui chui, tabia za kifisi mistambui. Napendo kifunga kwa buibui, yeah. Baby go down low, go down low, go down low. My baby go down low, go down low, go down low. I make you dance, oh. Giddy 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 go down. Giddy 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 go down. Giddy 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 go down. Go down. I make you dance, oh. Giddy 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 go down. Giddy 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 go down. Giddy 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 go down. Go down, go down. Pendo navyozitingisha, unadatisha nimeshikanisha one time. Na nishapata picha, vile nitashikanisha ardhi na mbingu katikati. Nijenge pulu ya mado, baby girl utashawa na mado. Imagine shopping uende Bangkok, itisha on the night. Baby go down low, go down low, go down low. My baby go down low, go down low, go down low. I make you dance, oh. Giddy 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 go down. Giddy 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 go down. Giddy 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 go down. Go down. I make you dance, oh. Giddy 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 go down. Giddy 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 go down. Giddy 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 go down. Go down, go down. Kwata boyagala, sabacho yagala. The way you shake your biggie bam bam, kuba chidongo nzomenyo mugongo. I don't sit down, baby don't sit down. I'm about to dash my girl. Mukwanu sunda na low. Baby go down low, go down low, go down low. My baby go down low, go down low, go down low. I make you dance, oh. Shake your bum bum, bum bum. Shake your bum bum, bum bum bum. Shake your bum bum, make you dance, bum bum. Shake your bum bum, bum. I make you dance, oh. Giddy 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 go down. Giddy 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 go down. Giddy 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 go down. Go down, go down. Giddy 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 go down. Giddy 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 go down. Giddy 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 go down. Go down. I make you dance, oh. Giddy 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 go down. Giddy 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 go down. Giddy 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 go down. Go down, go diggy go down. Boogie diggy diggy go down. Boogie diggy 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 go down. Go down, yeah. Go down, yeah. Go down, yeah. Go down, yeah.
Simba Sound Production.
Go down, yeah.
Get free music on mdundo.com.
Amejaa jo jana manze, ulitumezeshia jo sana. Jana ulichomea picha manze, ungejua tu.
Kweli jana kuliendaje? Aje. Kweli jana nilikunywaje? Aje. Kweli jana nilifanyaje? Aje. Yo wase niambie kuliendaje? Kweli jana kuliendaje? Aje. Kweli jana nililewaje? Aje. Kweli jana nilifanyaje? Aje. Yo wase niambie kuliendaje? Saa 9 kamili ndio mimi naamka. Na umona mifupa nikicheki mlango wangu imefunguliwa, lakini kwa nyumba ndani hakuna kitu imeibiwa. Kujichanganya, kujikanganya, kweli jana ni nini mimi nilifanya? Hizi madent kweli nilipigwa nganya. Sina memory, manze sina clue. Nakuta nimesota kwa meza tu ni mablu. Nakuta na jirani yangu Mkamba, nikienda Luna msalimia bali mama. Kwa hasira najibu utahama, mtu manu umzima unajabu. Ni nini nilifanya? Majabu ya majabu. Kweli jana kuliendaje? Aje. Kweli jana nilikunywaje? Aje. Kweli jana nilifanyaje? Aje. Yo wase niambie kuliendaje? Kweli jana kuliendaje? Aje. Kweli jana nililewaje? Aje. Kweli jana nilifanyaje? Aje. Yo wase niambie kuliendaje? Kwa vile sikumbuki kuliendaje, nenda bezo nembe nilifanyaje. Kufika bezo wase wanacheka sana, manze jana mezo ulikuwa umewezekana. Mpaka kinduku lunavuta muadhara. Wacha kwanza mbele ya wamadha, sunajua batendandwa pale tu. Sini ule madha mnonwa na miguu. Asa jana ni ye ulikuwa umekatia, umemshika west mzee na kuambia. No wonder nimejikuta na dhongo kitanda, nadhani hata phone amesanya. Metana kuambia pombe zako mbaya, kama inawezekana usiguze bana. Usiguze bana. Kweli jana kuliendaje? Aje. Kweli jana nilikunywaje? Aje. Kweli jana nilifanyaje? Aje. Yo wase niambie kuliendaje? Kweli jana kuliendaje? Aje. Kweli jana nililewaje? Aje. Kweli jana nilifanyaje? Aje. Yo wase niambie kuliendaje? Sunajua yule mama Katanga, yule mama alikuwa na matanga. Jana ulikuwa unamwambia na mahaka jo, kweli pombe zangu baya na gava kuchezea fire. Ukiwambia ati wewe ni okuonguo, ukumtani ati wewe ndio songo. Kama si kama ungeshikwa, ungejikuta kotini ukishtakiwa. Hizi dent nilitapo kibare, manzo ulitapo ndio wende ulale. Hii pombe nitasare.
Amejaa sana aje mzee.
Sema zo kuna vile
Sukamili basi nikuchukulie kimoja.
Lakini mezesi umesema umwacha pombe.
Wewe wacha pombe, siachi leo, nitaacha kesho.
Kweli jana kuliendaje? Aje. Kweli jana nilikunywaje? Aje. Kweli jana nilifanyaje? Aje. Yo wase niambie kuliendaje? Kweli jana kuliendaje? Aje. Kweli jana nililewaje? Aje. Kweli jana nilifanyaje? Aje. Yo wase niambie kuliendaje? Kweli jana kuliendaje? Aje. Kweli jana nilikunywaje? Aje. Kweli jana nilifanyaje? Aje. Yo wase niambie kuliendaje? Kweli jana kuliendaje? Aje. Kweli jana nililewaje? Aje. Kweli jana nilifanyaje? Aje. Yo wase niambie kuliendaje?
Beach ya Claymore.
Pawa Radio.
Career Dive on Power Radio with me,
Pawa
James Jerry, where we take a deep dive into the law, discussing all things legal and educating you.
Pawa Radio. Tune in. Power up.
Sorry for that mix up. You were listening to Power Radio. Before that, we had Jana by the one and only very amazing true storyteller, Mr. Major himself. This is the Power Morning Drive Show. My name is Anne Wanyoike and I'm your host for today. And for those that are joining us on YouTube, you can see that I am not alone in studio. My guest has already made his way, and I'm quite excited to have our conversation that we shall be having today. And I'll let you know in a bit. Remember, the hashtag that you're going to be using for today is hashtag Power Morning Drive Show, and you can get in touch with us on our social media platforms. We are on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and X at Power Radio. Go there and follow us on our socials, and also feel free to engage us as well. You can also catch this live broadcast. We are on YouTube at Power Radio. If you haven't subscribed to our channel kindly do so. And also you can get this live broadcast on our website. We are on www.power254.org/Power Radio. But now let me introduce, or rather allow my guest to introduce himself. Good morning, Mr. Ernest Cornell.
Good morning.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you doing this morning?
Well, we are pushing as the day goes.
Yes.
And see what is installed for us.
Amazing. All right. So for the people who do not know, who you are, kindly and briefly introduce yourself, the organization that you are you working with, and some of the work that you do right there.
My name is Ernest Cornell.
Mm-hmm.
I do communications work at the Kenya Human Rights Commission.
Yeah.
KHRC.
Mm-hmm.
The premium non-governmental organization in Africa.
Yes.
First registered in Kenya in 1992, but it was formed by exiled Kenya in the US.
Yes.
In 1991.
Yes.
Those Kenyans are Maina Kiai, Makau Mutua, Kirai Tumurungi, and Willie Mutunga.
Yes.
They had a vision of a society of free people.
Yes.
At the time when they were forming the organization,
right,
Kenya was undergoing political repression.
Mm-hmm.
It was a time of Moi regime.
Mm-hmm.
There was detention without trial,
mm-hmm.
Torture. If you have any contrary opinion to the regime of the day,
mm-hmm.
there was you could be subjected to torture.
Right.
So the human rights situation at the time was so dire.
Yeah.
And so they came together and formed this organization to advance this right.
Yeah.
It was not easy up to until the time the organization was being formed. It was such a hard tussle.
Right.
You can remember that at the time people were clamoring for multi-party, the repeal of Section 2A of the Constitution. And Moi at the time was hell-bent to maintain the status quo because introducing multi-party will mean to do away with the injustices that are permeated since the Kenya gained independence.
Yeah, and also his totalitarian government at that time, as it were.
Yeah, he was an authoritarian leader.
Yeah.
So over time, KHRC has done a lot. So our first, between then 92, 97, our assignment was to monitor election and report those violations.
Right.
We transitioned to the new government in 2002. There was work around the Truth, Justice and Reconciliation Commission, TJRC. Then it came to the new constitution.
Yes.
And here we are. And there have been other wins in between, keeping multinational corporations into check, putting police to account for what they've done, and also putting leaders who are in power on check.
Yes.
Which we will be discussing here.
Yeah. All right. So as you've heard, Mr. Ernest is from the Kenya Human Rights Commission, and he has given us a brief breakdown of, the history of how the commission was formed and some of the work that they do. And that shall be the basis of our discussion for today. We shall be talking about human rights violations amid the political movement and revolution that we are currently witnessing. And as I promised earlier, we are going to get into the news updates and the news headlines. And one thing that is making headlines is that as of yesterday, 50 people is the number that has been reported of the killings out of the protests. That 50 people, according to reports, are the people that have succumbed from killings, since the protest began, last month. Then, Mr. Ernest, I mean, from where you sit, when you see a country that is so hell-bent on just eliminating people's lives, Kenyan people out there in the streets protesting for the rights, protesting against, punitive, for example, the punitive finance bill, and with the kind of work that you do, what do you make of this thing? I mean, we are what it seems as if we take 2 steps forward and 3 steps back when it comes to upholding human rights and so what do you make of this this news?
And it is really shattering to imagine that you will wake up, show up on the street, demand whatever cause you are agitating for.
Yes.
And instead of going back home alive, your body is picked on the street. It is really, really, really sad. And I'm wondering what goes into the mind of those people who are issuing these orders to eliminate the people who are showing up on the street to protest. When this, it has been the history in Kenya that when people demonstrate, picket, or assemble, police will use force.
Yes.
And these officers on the street don't just decide on their own. An order is coming from someone. Someone is issuing those orders that these people needs to be taken out. The person who is issuing this order, how does that person feel when they see lifeless bodies, when they see young Kenyans who had a bright future ending up in morgues? When we were fighting for the new constitution, it was principally to put an end to these kind of acts. It was so rampant during the previous regimes, where people would be killed at whims of those in authority. And so people had hope that with the new constitution, our right to protest will be protected and respected.
Right.
As contained in the Bill of Rights of the Constitution. But that has not been the case. Those in power feel threatened by the masses, by the people who are coming out on the street and agitating.
Yeah.
You will also notice that when people assemble, they march peacefully.
Yes.
Nothing is happening.
Yes.
Who provokes violence?
Yeah.
It is the police. When they start firing tear gas, when they start shooting on the air, unprovoked. And the question is, what are they fearing? Why don't they want people on the street? What is their biggest fear?
Yeah, yes. And this is not something that is just prevalent only in Kenya. I mean, we can read history and we can see that the powers that be for a long time are very fearful and obsessed with people's freedoms. And then my next question then would be bodies like the IPOA, for instance. What is their work? What is their mandate? And do you think they are doing what they're supposed to be doing? Because that's what accountability looks like. For instance, if it's the police that are being, they're the ones that are accused of these cases of human rights violations and violence, we have the oversight, the police oversight authority that is put in place to be able to hold these police officers accountable, but kwa ground vitu ni different.
Yeah, the mandate of IPOA is to investigate police excesses.
Yes.
And recommend for their prosecution. People had hopes when IPOA was formed. People now knew that at least police are going to be held accountable.
Right.
There have been wins that Pawa has registered,
Yeah.
and we really applaud them for
Mhm,
that.
mhm.
But there have been instances where Pawa has fallen short,
Mhm.
whereas the public expect them to act fast. They have not been as fast. They have been releasing statement that we have recommended, we have investigated this number of cases.
Mm.
These are the number of cases we have recommended for prosecution, which is okay.
Yeah.
But then it reaches a time where
Mm.
people needs to see more action, needs to have those officers held to accountable.
Mm.
And when it happens that police shoot and kill at will, and then nothing is happening,
Right.
then the public confidence on IPOA is slowly fading away.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And so when we talk about human rights violations in Kenya, and just basing our conversation on just the, this anti-finance bill, anti-government protest of 2024, what are for somebody who might not be knowing even what human rights violations are, could you paint a picture for us? What is the definition first of human rights violations, and in what forms should we be on the lookout for that they come in?
I'll answer it so that I'll answer this way so that I give it a context.
Mm-hmm.
The finance bill is introduced in Parliament.
Mm-hmm.
It has a raft of measures. Most of it are designed to increase taxes, and when taxes are increased, then the life becomes unbearable.
Yes.
Remember, you're increasing taxes, but the people's salaries are still stagnating.
Mm-hmm.
So it means their purchasing power is reducing, and,
Right.
their cost of living basically is going up.
Yes.
So then the committee in National Assembly holds public participation to ask for people to give their views on the bill.
Mm-hmm.
People show up, give their views, and they tell the committee that we don't want these taxes, remove them. We don't want this one, remove them. The committee acts as if they have listened. They go do their report, and the taxes that people said remove them,
Right.
they are still there.
Yeah.
So then it appears like it was just a formality.
Mm-hmm.
Let's tick this box,
Mm-hmm.
pretend we did public participation,
Right.
so that when we get challenged,
Yes.
we can prove to the court that, hey, we did public participation.
Right. Right.
But it was not meaningful. It was just it was
Cosmetic.
cosmetic. Nothing came out of it.
Yes.
Still, people continue to air their views and say, MPs, please, though the committee allow these taxes to pass at their level, please don't vote for it. Shoot it down. But then the MPs, those aligned to the regime, go ahead and pass the bill with little concession. Then the pressure keeps mounting. The pressure mounts that
Yes.
reject the bill, remove the bill. Nothing is happening.
Yes.
And now people are saying, we have filed our petitions to be listened to. We have not been listened to. We've talked to our members of parliament who are representatives. They are not listening to us. What options then are we left with? The law allows us then, we can show up on the street, picket, to demonstrate our dissatisfaction with the actions of the National Assembly and the MPs.
Yes.
And to put pressure on them and the president not to assent to the bill. And that's what they did. They came on the street. They started online. Then it morphed into street action.
Yes.
But then when they're showing up peacefully,
Yeah.
they are being shot at.
Right.
They are being clobbered. They are getting killed.
Unlawfully arrested.
Yeah, it's unlawful because
Yeah.
the law says that you
Have the freedom and the right.
to do it peaceably and unarmed. When you check the people who were killed when Rex was taken out by police, he was not armed.
Yes.
Others who were killed by the police, they were not armed, they were
They were
assembly.
only armed with their voices. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Some were carrying Kenyan flags.
Yes.
Others were
Placards.
Others were whipping up their phones. So at no point did they pose any threat to
Anyone.
to fellow protesters
Yes.
or
Yes.
the law enforcers who were there.
Yes.
That's in context is to tell you what a human rights violation. People are aggrieved. They have come out to air their views, and then they're getting killed.
Yeah.
In the context that what has been happening in the last few weeks,
Yes.
I can put it that way. When these things are happening, I had said it earlier. These police officers who are killing these people, they received an order from someone.
Yes.
Someone instructed them shoot those people.
Yeah.
Because if they did not receive any orders to do that, by now their bosses would have disowned them and there would have been action would have been taken against them.
That's right.
Tell me, is there a single officer since this protest started and who have ended up killing 50? 50 is including those who were burnt in their house in Imenti.
Yes.
So those killed under police fire
Yeah.
are around 41, 42
Yeah.
or thereabout.
Right.
Yesterday, 4 more were killed.
Yes.
One in Nairobi, one in Kitengela and 2 in Machakos.
Right.
The officers who pulled this trigger,
Yeah.
has any action been taken against them? Have we seen them being arraigned in court?
Absolutely not. Not that I know of.
Because it's as if we are living in the in a law of in a country that is not governed by law. When Quarry incident happened, which was so unfortunate, and it first broke out on Friday.
Yes.
By Monday, we had a suspect in custody.
Yes.
When these people were killed, it's almost a month since the first person was killed. But up to now, not even a single officer has been identified.
Right.
Online, people online identified the officers they suspect committed these crimes. But from the side of the government, no action has been taken to bring these officers to book.
Yeah, and even as we talk about that story, we've just seen that the main suspect is identified as 33-year-old Collins, and it has really sent shockwaves across the country because Kenyans, first of all, do not trust that this story is true. There's some things that do not add up in this story, and of course, we are going to say allegedly because investigations are still going on. But let's even just bring the human interest and human angle into this conversation. We are not only dealing with statistics or data. These are real people with real family members. Some of them are probably breadwinners in the families that they come from. So when you look at this, as a person that works directly in the work to uphold human rights and to fight against the human rights violations, I mean, how does support for the families of the affected look like for you? Because it's quite something. It's quite a sight and it's quite a sound to see. Just the heaviness of what you have to deal with from where you sit.
You see, the biggest support that the families of the fallen heroes can get is justice. It is justice. It is to see that the officers who kill their sons, daughters, fathers, brothers have been arraigned and are being prosecuted. That is the first step. The first step: justice.
Yeah.
But you see, for justice to happen, investigations need to happen, and authorities like IPOA then come in and investigate and think this book. But when it is taking time, it appears like it is elusive.
Right.
Because justice delayed is
justice denied. Yes.
These families, some of them, the departed were the breadwinners. And we have released statements saying that these families need reparations and compensation. You can't take out you can't take out a breadwinner of a family, and then how do you expect that family to survive? You need to compensate them. you need to reparate them. You need to provide them some sort of livelihood, because they are the only person who was providing for them. You kill them. When by the time, sometimes you'll find that by the time these people are passing on, they are in hospital and the bills have been accrued.
Yes.
Then we are saying the government must pay those bills, must cater for their bills.
Yeah.
Then the other aspect, their cost that needs to be incurred when people are buried.
Yes.
Then it is for the state to do that.
Yes.
And in long term, these families need psychosocial support.
Right.
So that's also what they need to get.
Yeah.
So justice for these families, justice is multifaceted from all angles, from seeing the person who killed their loved ones getting persecuted, and for them to get reparations.
Okay, and remember, we are still continuing with our conversation today in studio. I am joined by Ernest Cornell. He is from the Kenya Human Rights Commission, and in the wake of the political movement and revolution that we are currently in, with it has come a lot of human rights violations. We've seen violence from forceful disappearances of the Kenyan public to unlawful arrest as well. We have seen multiple killings. Up to now, the reports say that it is 50 people that have succumbed from these protests that have been, recorded nationwide. A lot of human rights violations. So yes, that's what we've been discussing. If you have any questions for Mr. Ernest, kindly do so on our social media platforms. We are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. You can find us at Pawa Radio, and you can also watch this live broadcast on YouTube at Pawa Radio. If you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, kindly do so, like, comment, share, and we will be happy to engage with you. For now, let's get into some music. Let's get a short musical break. When we come back, we continue with our discussions. Today, we are asking, first of all, is violence and human rights violations the scapegoat? Is it a prerequisite to enjoying the freedoms that the Kenyans are out on the streets to protest against or to fight for? And then number two, we are looking into the whole human rights, the people that work in the human rights space. What is the state of human rights in Kenya? What does the Kenyan Constitution and the Kenyan law said? Are there provisions within the Kenyan law into these issues of human rights? So you do want to stick around for this and much, much more on that conversation. But for now, let's get into some music and we will be right back. Keep it 100% Pawa Radio.
On how the law impacts your life.
Pawa Radio. Tune in and power
We
up.
dive on Power Radio.
Sema mpenzi, how you been? Unaendeleaje? Ama niaje? Yeah. Sema mpenzi, how you been? Umepotelea wapi? Umefanya nini na nani? Unajua Ati, babe, it's cold outside. Fancy, won't you come inside? You don't have to hide your love. Unajua Ati, baby, I'm your guy. Fancy, put your pride aside. You don't have to hide your love. Sema, mpenzi, how you been? your guy. Mpenzi, put your pride aside. You don't have to hide your love.
Sema, mpenzi, I've been fine. Sijui nisemeje. Oh, niko poa. I miss you. Imagine, hajui kunipa love. I don't know why I ever left you. Oh, mbona sikukupata. Unajua, ati that is cold outside. Mpenzi, can I come inside? I don't wanna hide my love.
Wishing that you, baby, now that you're with him and you're not here, nakuhitaji. I'm used to it, you know, nimekumiss, nitakupenda milele. Even though I'm not around you, there'll always be room for you right here kwa roho yangu. Unajua, ati, baby, it's cold outside. Fancy, won't you come inside? You don't have to hide your love. Unajua, sema ati, baby, I'm your guy. Fancy, put your pride aside. You don't have to hide your love. Unajua, ati, baby, I'm your guy. Fancy, put your pride aside. You don't have to hide your love. Sema, mpenzi, how you been?
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Jealousy, always comparing myself to you. Sometimes I feel like I overdo. Sometimes I feel like I'm over you. Sangine, I feel like I have no clue. Sangine, miwaga moods. Sometimes I act a fool. Sangine, ninachoma sana. Sometimes tunakosana. Sometimes I act too cool. Sangine, you act a fool. Sometimes you drive me crazy. I swear I drive you crazy. Consistent, consistency, consistent, consistently, consistent, consistency, consistent, consistent, day, 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 day by day, day, day by day, 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 day by day, day, day by day, day, day by day, 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 day by day, day, day by day, 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 day by day. Consistent, consistently. Anxiety, naanza tabia za self-sabotage. Naanza tabia za overjudge. Naanza kujifungia, naanza kujikazia. Mwenzio nafunga hisia. Sometimes I feel so blue. Sometimes I have no clue. Saa ingine unachoma sana. Sometimes tunakosana. Saa ingine ninapotea. Sometimes unanikosea. Sometimes you drive me crazy. I swear I drive you crazy. Consistent, consistency, consistent, consistently,
Radio. Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
That is Bang by Calligraph Jones, and it's playing right here on Power Radio. This is the Power Morning Drive Show. I'm your host, Anne Wanyoike, and we are continuing with our discussion for today. Today, we are looking into, we are making sharp focus. We are looking at the state of human rights in Kenya and what that portends amid this anti-government and anti-finance bill 2024 protest. We have seen a lot of violence against and violations against human rights. I mean, talk of extrajudicial killings, we have abductions, forceful disappearances, name it. And I'm not alone in studio. With me to help us unpack and, contextualize some of these things. We are joined by Mr. Ernest Cornell. He is from the Kenya Human Rights Commission. And so let's get back into the discussion. Something else that has been really disturbing is the Kware dump site incident. We have only gotten reports last week that we had 14 bodies that were found laying in the Kware dump site, and of course so many theories that have been in the air, spewing left, right, and center as to what could be the causative, the cause of the deaths that were found. So, let's break down some of the narratives and some of the things that this Kware incident came with. So, one, the 33-year-old Collins Jumaiso Halasia apparently is a suspect, allegedly is a suspect that was arrested by police after these bodies were found. Do you believe the story or not?
Well, the Director of Criminal Investigation on Monday appeared on TV and announced that a suspect has been arrested.
Yeah.
He said that this suspect has been dumping these bodies in that quarry pit for the last 2 years.
Yes.
And the discovery was made using some cell data. That's why the suspect was arrested.
Right.
This story broke out on Friday.
Yes, last week.
Yeah. That bodies had been dumped there, so they were being retrieved. And it took police only 3 days, Monday, to arrest a suspect. But then the police are telling us this man has been committing this crime
for the past 2 years. Yeah.
What have they been doing for the last 2 years? They've only arrested him after a public outcry.
Yes. So questions to the police there.
Yes, question to the police. What have you been doing in the last 2 years? Where you knew this man was committing this crime, reportedly.
Allegedly.
Because we don't have proof that it is indeed the one who was committing them. You need to provide those answers satisfactorily.
Yes.
When you listen to what happened in the court yesterday, the man is saying he was tortured to confession.
Yes.
So, whatever DCI is saying, according to now court records, it was a forced confession. If indeed it was a forced confession, then is it admissible? Of course, it's not admissible. If it's a forced confession, it means there are some elements of the statements that the DCI gave to the public that are not true. But we may not go into details because now it's under the realm of the court. We leave it to the court to decide.
To decide, because investigations are underway. Yeah. And something else also to be noted is that the bodies that were found were mostly women, like they could identify that they were female bodies, and they were also mutilated. And something else is that the area residents of the Kware area were very infuriated, enraged. They came as more bodies were being, discovered and being exhumed from wherever they had been dumped. it had really sent the residents, according to reports, into a state of more rage. I mean, what do you make of all this? First, we have bodies, and then now they are mutilated, and then somebody else might also think that this is an issue of a case of femicide, because why is it only allegedly women, female bodies that were found? And so far, as you've said, it was 14 bodies as at Friday.
Any death is far too many.
Yeah.
And this kind of atrocity should not befall any family.
Right.
It is just unacceptable
Mm-hmm.
to see that people who had healthy lives,
Mm-hmm.
they are being retrieved, their bodies are being retrieved from a pit. We want to know, how did those bodies end up there? I was there on Friday. I witnessed those divers retrieving the bodies.
Yes.
And they were packed in sacks, mutilated.
These are people.
And tied.
Yeah.
So someone somewhere went and tortured these people.
Right.
Killed them.
Yeah.
And then dumped them there. We want to know the motive. But surprisingly, where this the crime scene is just a few meters from a police post in Mukuru Kwenjenga.
Yes.
If these bodies were being dumped, where were the police?
For the
Not
past
even
2 years.
sense that something is amiss here. Why did it take for someone to come and start looking for their loved ones, for them to realize that there are more bodies here? And it was not just one body, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at
And
least 14
continuous.
that
Yeah.
were retrieved from the scene.
Yeah.
So either there was aberration, the police did not do their job well.
Yeah.
But this speaks to the kind of intelligence
that
we have
Yeah.
in trying to prevent crime. When people came out on Friday and Saturday to witness, and Sunday, even yesterday, as last as yesterday, they were raged. They were demanding answers. And in that situation, you find then police firing tear gas, shooting in the air
to disperse them.
To disperse them. But these people they have anger. They are demanding answer. The best you can do is to explain to them how that situation happened, how at least 10 bodies ended up in the pit. Yet you are just a few meters away from that spot.
Yeah. Yes, and the residents were also saying that swamp needs to be dried up, all of it. Like, they need to drain the swamp so that there can be an uncovering. There could be more bodies, underneath that swamp. And I mean, that's very grotesque. I can only imagine like what that does to even your mental health, because you said you were there at the thick of it. You were right there where the action was happening. And something else that you also mentioned is that you take part in the advocacy, in the advocacy work when we are talking about the human rights, the work of a human rights, the work in the human rights space. So what does the work of advocacy entail? If for example, somebody you've discovered, or they've come to you as a commission that they want to be, taken under your wing. So what does the work of advocacy entail, and how do you ensure effective and efficient representation for those that come to seek for your help?
So then allow me to go back to the quarry incident. Our demand as an organization is that let justice be served to the victims of these crimes, that the person who committed this crime must be held accountable by the law. What we also ask is for the National Construction Authority to close all quarries.
Okay.
Because then it appears now the quarry are now new dumping sites for bodies. So if we close these quarries, then whoever is committing these crimes won't find a suitable place like quarry to dump the bodies. That's one. So the fact that we are spotlighting these abuses,
yes,
we are trying to link the families to access justice.
Right.
We are telling the public that this is what is happening, and we are making recommendation on what can be done, including taking judicial action, then that speaks to advocacy. Remember, this is not a one-man show, so you're working with a lot of players.
Yeah.
There are players whose specialty is on the medical part of it.
Yeah.
The ones who are very strong on litigations.
Yeah.
And there are the others who are strong on governance issues. So when all of us then meet and act on a thing, then that part works well in terms of advocacy. Sometimes it's not just about saying that this violation has happened. It's to identify the family of those victims, help them try to ascertain with certainty that indeed those bodies are theirs, their loved ones, through postmortem, taking the DNA samples and the entire spectrum.
Yes. Oh, wow. And we have a question here from James Mwangi. Thank you so much, James Mwangi, for tuning into the Power Morning Drive Show. He's saying very good discussion here. Thank you. And he also has a question for you. He's asking, in your opinion, what would be the best way to handle police brutality in a country which boasts on deep democratic values?
So, to answer that question, first, the best way to handle police brutality is to make sure that any police officer who commits an offense is held to account. There's investigation, they're identified, they're arraigned, they're prosecuted,
yes.
and they're jailed for the crimes that they committed.
Yes.
Then these act as a deterrent to police officers who in future would have committed the same crime. But then there's also part of it to try and prevent these police officers from doing these crimes. And you'll realize that in the last few months of the protests, there have been arrests, abductions by law enforcement officers.
Yes.
And people have turned up dead. Others have not been found up to now. This is because in Kenya we don't have a law that is criminalizing enforced disappearances. And part of the strategy to prevent this thing, even though it is happening, but to forestall it, is to make sure that we ratify the International Convention on Protection of Persons from Enforced Disappearances.
Yeah.
Which was passed in 2010, but up to now it has not been ratified because this convention then identify this systemic abduction as crimes against humanity, and then it calls for thorough investigation to make sure that culprits are brought to book.
Yeah. Wow. And so we that's, first of all, it's shocking that we don't have a law that provides for systems within which, for example, forceful abductions can be prosecuted.
Yeah, we don't have. So what then the law speaks about is the then associated violation that happens, because when you arrest someone, then you are depriving them of their security of a person.
Right.
Then the law, the constitution speaks about that. When then you abduct someone and it turns up dead, then the law speaks about it in sense of the right to life. But then the act of abducting someone, denying them access to abducting someone outside the legal framework, that's what's missing. But then the International Convention for the Protection of Persons Against Enforced Disappearance speaks clearly about this, then which we have been pushing so hard that it needs to be ratified.
And how does Kenya compare? I mean, to even talk about the international grid within which we exist, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights that was instituted in 10th December 1948, I believe. So that's 76 years later. What progress has been made, not only in Kenya, but like in universally, and how do we compare to, for example, neighboring countries when it comes to the human rights space here in Kenya, and what more can be done if at all we are lagging behind?
In this constitution that we have, we introduced the Bill of Rights, which is very, very, very exhaustive in the world.
Yes.
To say, if we compare ourselves with our neighbors, we'll find we have the constitution gives us more freedom on paper and sometimes in practice. If you check, for example, in neighboring Uganda and Tanzania, you'll find there's political repression.
Right.
There's people who have divergent, differing opinions from those in power.
Yeah.
Their rights are in other words, they don't enjoy their political rights in that country.
Yes.
So there will be, for example, when there's campaign, there will be blocked from campaigning. When they want to mount a challenge against the incumbent, then they are arrested, they put in communicado and so stuff. The media, the freedom of the media in this country, they may not be allowed to air some sort of things.
Yes.
They will be shut down, other will be closed or denied licenses. Even though this has been happening in Kenya, but then our law allows us to operate freely. But we are not lost to the fact that in 2018, the previous regime shut down several TV stations, which also in essence curtail their rights. So we have been making progress, but sometimes this progress we are being taken back by the leaders who are in power, who feel that this progress is a threat to
them. Yeah, and speaking of that, the media shutdown, I want now to shift gears to media reporting. I mean, from where you sit, how do you think the media has done in terms of reporting on cases of human rights violations and violence? Do you think the Kenyan media has done anything for the documentation of this this protest, as well as do you think we have done justice as the media in terms of amplifying the human rights violations connected issues, and what can be done more?
We must be aware of the fact that the Constitution says that the media should be independent, and what they have been exercising that independence in the way they report, in the way they frame their issues. That's the nature of their job. People are taking offense that why are you reporting this thing like this? They have that liberty to decide how they are reporting.
Right.
So long as they have that liberty, I'm saying they have liberty to decide how they are reporting.
So long as it's the truth.
They are giving out the fact.
Yeah.
But then if we are looking at the media, we look at it in two ways. So we have the legacy media, we have the new media.
Yeah.
Then the legacy media is now the social media where all of us are.
Yeah.
But then we are using it as our broadcast to amplify our message.
Yes.
You'll find that for people to come out and agitate and demand for their rights and demand that this finance bill be dropped, to be passed, they exercise that right. They air their voice using their platform, their own media, social media. So then they have been using it, in my view, in a way then that advances our democracy. But then if then you use it to advance your democracy and you make gains, people feel like you are not using it properly, which is not the case. So they want you to use it in a way that it will make our laws to be so retrogressive.
Yes.
And it's unacceptable. When then you find media is reporting these things independently and factually, they are getting targeted. Yesterday, a journalist in Nakuru was shot by police officers.
Yeah.
She was clearly marked.
Yes.
She had a jacket written press. She was part of a crew that clearly police could see these are press people. But then they were deliberately targeted and then shot.
Yes.
What does that tell you?
Yeah.
It tells you that some people fear that the truth is now coming out, that these people are reporting the truth.
But
why will you then shoot a journalist?
Yeah. Well, this could be the kicks of a dying horse, really, because when you look at it, the mainstream media, fantastic, they could be able to control that. You can only do as much, right? But with the, owned media or the social media or the new media, it's everywhere. It's so hard for you to be able to control that. So I don't think that they have a very good chance of continuously silencing or censoring what people do with their social media platforms.
But allow me to say this. When at the peak of this protest,
yes,
on June 25th, Safaricom came out and announced that there was
a cable in the sea,
so
disconnect.
So
Shark zilikula.
Yeah, so connectivity was an issue at that time. So then you're asking yourself, how convenient of all the days when this is a defining moment for Kenya, then we have connectivity issues. Sometimes we have seen in other republics where the government deliberately shuts down the internet, throttles the internet, so that people cannot access information. Because
or
information
share them.
Share them because information in power. At such time of very, very importance to the country, people need to know what is happening where, who is doing what. But then when you throttle the internet, it becomes difficult to share this information. Then you are basically curtailing the right of people to access this information, to share them. What then drives you? Are you then committing an offense that you don't want people to know about? That you don't want people to speak about it at that time?
It's very self-reflecting, you know? Wow. And continue engaging us. Let me see whether we have more questions here. Okay, we don't have any more questions, but thank you so much for those that are coming in and watching us on the Power Morning Drive Show right here on Power Radio. We are still continuing with our discussion. We are unpacking human rights violations amid the political revolution that we are currently in Kenya, and what it might portend for the future of human rights. So when we come back, we look at similar movements as well, and what this might portend for the future of human rights. Where do we go from here? How do we build more systems and structures that are effective in propelling and accelerating, or rather entrenching, the work that commissions like the Kenya Human Rights Commission is doing? And how do we make sure that this the juhudi ambazo wanazozitekeleza, that they are able to suffice? Now let's get into some music. It's 9:31 a.m. East African time. This is Power Radio. If you have requests, kindly also let us know, and we will be sure to play that for you. Keep it right here on Power Radio. Do not move a muscle.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Kosa si kosa, makosa ni kurudia. Pole sana kama umevumilia, tulikosana, nikaomba ungenirudia, ukanikana hadharani mbele ya dunia.
Beti lichomeka, zima moto hawakusaidia, ndege ya vieta kianguka hawakunyambia, saizi liona na sikufuatilia, jirani alikuteka, mali yangu wakanikulia. Ni sawa,
umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa, ningenyamaza yote tisa, but for you, is that who you have picked over me? Umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa.
Uko sure huyo ndo mwenye unataka? Uko sure?
Ni sawa.
Uko sure unaweza sema with your chest? Uko sure?
But for you, is that who you have picked over me? Umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa.
Number on your your wedding day, stima zipote, upate fat fingers, ringi sitoshe. Your boyfriend akubaye kadogi ukidhani nika cute kakuume. Mother-in-law na father-in-law wakuchukie wakikuona. Unadhani yeni catch kumbe yeni spam donor. Yoni nini unabonya? My lord, I wonder, but as long as you're happy wena wependa kenye unapenda imeenda.
Ni sawa, umeniacha nimeachika ni sawa. Ningenyamaza yote tisa, but for you, is that who you have picked over me? Umeniacha nimeachika ni sawa.
Uko sure ndo mwenye unataka? Uko sure?
Ni sawa.
Uko sure unaweza sema with your chest? Uko sure?
But for you, is that who you have picked over me? Umeniacha nimeachika ni sawa.
Kwa majina ni Iane. Iane.
Alexis on the beat.
Weka mziki, leo nataka kucheza. Nina mabeshte ndani kwa party, tunataka kucheza. Shida ni mingi, leo nataka kucheza. You know, we just wanna party and enjoy. Leo lazima nyama kwa wingi, ugali kidogo, pombe kwa wingi, chesa kidogo, mapenzi kwa wingi, chuki kidogo, situzitoke mdogo. Before the sun fits on us, tujibambe pamoja. Before the sun fits on us, tulewe pombe pamoja. It's all about good vibes, and inshallah. Good vibes, and inshallah. Good vibes, and inshallah. It's all about good vibes, and inshallah. Mabeshte ndani kwa gari, kila siku tunapare. Mabeshte ndani kwa gari, kila siku si tunapare.
Holla the man them, holla the girl them. What I want every day we do it for the fun them. Sexy ladies in the party, man about money and you know it's an anthem. Give thanks to the Most High. Every day a blessing you see and we multiply. Bigger picture now your good side. A bigger picture now your good side.
Jaba kwa wingi ngoi kidogo, usiogope choma foto. Pigia Cindy, pigia Jojo, leo tunarudi soko.
Cause I know you sacrifice, tujibambe pamoja. I know you sacrifice, situchome kimoja.
It's all about good vibes, and inshallah. Good vibes, and inshallah. Good vibes, and inshallah. It's all about good vibes, and inshallah. Mabeshte ndani kwa gari, kila siku tunapare. Nina mabeshte ndani kwa gari, kila siku si tunapare.
Nina mabeshte ndani kwa gari, kila siku tunapare. Nina mabeshte ndani kwa gari, kila siku tunapare.
Good vibes, and inshallah. Good vibes, and inshallah. Good vibes, and inshallah. It's all about good vibes, and inshallah. Mabeshte ndani kwa gari, kila siku tunapare. Mabeshte ndani kwa gari, kila siku si tunapare.
Pawa Radio. Tune in and power up.
Some days you feel like the world is on fire. Some days you feel like you're swimming and flying. Some days you wake is what you don't see. But some days you feel like you're floating up high. So how about you try this time? Lifting up your head and sing out. What more than I see, there's more inside of me. Just lift up your voice and say, nitajaribu tena kesho, nitaamka upya na nisonge. Hata wakipenda kunivunja, mambo yakizidi unga, sitashindwa kujivuta. Kesho naamka upya. Kesho naamka upya. Some days I know that you think of surviving, but you sleep and wake up and don't feel like fighting. But there's space in your soul to keep wanting more, to desire to soar. But some days you know that their words, they mean nothing. So how about you try this time? Lifting up your head and say, what more than I see, there's more inside of me. Just lift up your voice and say, nitajaribu tena kesho, nitaamka upya na nisonge. Hata wakipenda kunivunja, mambo yakizidi unga, sitashindwa kujivuta. Kesho naamka upya.
Power Radio. And Power Up.
All right, that is Miss Bridget. She's playing right here on Power Radio. And this is the Power Morning Drive Show. My name is Wanyoike. And to conclude, because I can see we are short of time, we are almost wrapping up our conversation for today. Our morning conversation has been around human rights violations and the state of the nation as far as human rights is concerned. And I've been doing that with the help of Mr. Ernest Cornell from the Kenya Human Rights Commission. And so, Mr. Cornell, there is a statement that the KHRC was able to release, which was released in response or in regards to the Inspector General's. Words are failing me. Let the people know. Let the people want to know that statement, what it was about.
Yeah, so the statement, it's not KHRC alone who released the statement. We released it with the Police Reforms Working Group and Civic Freedoms Forum,
yes,
for which KHRC is part of. And it follows the resignation of Inspector General of Police, Japheth Koome. So we are asking that the recruitment of the next Inspector General of Police must be competitive and on merit. Section 12 of the National Police Act had mandated the National Police Service Commission to be the one recruiting Inspector General of Police. But then in 2014, the Security Laws Amendment altered this arrangement, and it gave the president all power to recruit the Inspector General of Police.
Yes.
What then this happened is that it undermined the independence of the police. So what then we are asking in this statement is that we are calling for the revision, revert back to how things were, that the National Police Service Commission is the one recruiting the Inspector General of Police, and this power should not rest with the president. Because also to go back a bit is that even though Koome was resigned as the Inspector General of Police,
yes,
there have been so many cases against him on his capacity then as the Inspector General of Police, and as the Nairobi Police Commander. You remember in 2017, during protest after the election results were announced by IBC,
Mhm.
in Nairobi alone, police shot and killed 33 people.
Wow. Staggering numbers right there.
And those deaths happened under the command of Japhet Koome.
Mhm.
So KHRC and Muslims for Human Rights, Muhuri, went to court in 2023 to file case against Koome over those deaths.
Mhm.
We know, yes, Koome was not on the street to fire those, to pull the trigger and kill those people. But then he was in charge of the police.
Yes.
So we took Koome to court on the ground of command responsibility, because we believe he ought to have known that police were committing crimes. He should have known that police were committing crimes, and then he should have done something to stop it.
Yes.
But then he did not do it, and people ended up dead.
Yes.
So much as Koome has left the scene,
Mhm.
he needs to answer to these crimes that happened under his watch.
During
and when we are going to get the next Inspector General of Police, we want someone who is competitively recruited, someone who will come and adhere to the Constitution and respect the rule of law.
Yeah. Someone who is competent.
Yeah.
And something else also that caught my attention is that I was able to witness some members of the people living with disabilities out on the streets, and they were out there protesting and picketing just like any other Kenyan. So when we talk about the upholding of their human rights as well, in terms of like, inclusion and diversity, I think people who do not live with disabilities are not necessary, like the level or the degree to which these violations happen to them. I think it is worse to the people that live with disabilities. And so how do we deal with is there like a special structures or systems to deal with the human rights upholding of people that live with disabilities?
You see, the impact of police violence, in my view, affect everyone, irrespective of our ability. It just affects us the same. If tear gas is fired, the smoke will affect us all the same.
Right.
What we have been calling for is that the use of lethal crowd control weapon. We have been challenging this thing.
Yes.
But you find we have been challenging it to say that police cannot use tear gas on unarmed protesters.
Yeah.
In fact, a case that was filed in Malindi. There was an order from a court that police should not use water cannons, should not use tear gas, should not fire at protesters.
Yeah.
So yes, we agree that people with disability may have difficulties in moving around. But then if we stop police from using lethal crowd control weapon, then we will not have anything. We will not be suffering from anything.
Right.
We won't be affected by tear gas. We won't be affected by the water that has been sprayed using the water cannons.
Wow. Okay. So then where do we move from this point? I mean, we have touched on so many things and it might feel quite overwhelming. Where do we go from here? Paint the picture for us. If you as Ernest, who is heavily invested in the work of, human rights work in that space, what is a Kenya that is just look like for you? What does a free and just Kenya, where human rights are upheld and uplifted, look like? For example, 10 years down the line, what do you think we need to do in between that vision and where we are at right now? Where do we go from this point?
You see, the problem that the country is facing now, some of them are stemming from the laws that are being made by our members of parliament. How did our members of parliament end up in the August House? It was through the ballot. For so many years, there have been questions on whether our elections are credible, free, and fair to produce candidates of good integrity. You find that this is not happening. There are claims of election malpractices that are allowing people with who don't have integrity, who even had cases in court, some with serious violations ending up in office. So if our election systems can allow us to have leaders of integrity who have no blemish to come and lead us, then some of the problems that we are talking here, we won't be experiencing them.
Right.
Remember, just an example, people went on the street because finance bill was passed. Finance bill passed because those MPs leaning towards the ruling regime passed it. Of course, the government side took a stand. They want the bill to be passed. So that was the position of the president. And it didn't matter what was in the bill. So the MPs passed the bill. But then if we have independent-minded members of parliament, irrespective of their party political affiliation, who are in their guest house, they will be making their decisions with rationale. And then some of these things can be avoided.
Right.
Another thing is that, and which is the pinnacle of it, is let's follow the Constitution. If we just follow the Constitution, then these transgressions that we are talking about here will not be taking place.
Wow.
So the up and short of it is that let's follow the Constitution.
Yes.
Police should stop killing us. Police should stop abducting us. They should stop arresting us.
And what would be your clarion call to the government, to the Kenyan public, and any stakeholder that wants to see the course of human rights being upheld as your parting shot?
My parting shot is this. To the President of the Republic of Kenya, listen to the people. People are tired and they demand action. You know what people want. Listen to them. To the other stakeholders, please rally around the people. Make your voice be heard.
Yeah. Wow. Well said. Thank you so much, Mr. Cornell, for making the time to come here and have this very, it's intense, but it's very needed conversation. And for the amazing work that you guys are doing at the commission, good job and keep it up, guys. And whenever you guys, it's quite heartening to see that it's not all gloom, that there are people who are committed to the work of upholding human rights. So thank you so much for making the time and coming to Pawa Radio to continue this discussion with us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Guys, let's get some music before we let our guests leave, and I'll be right back with the conclusion of our discussion today. This is Pawa Radio.
Pawa Radio. Tune in and power up.
Tofauti ambayo tupendi kwa hii jamii. Tabia maslahi queen kula pesa wanaume hata wale wamejengo. Mtu mzima kukojoa kwa matandiko alafu anaekelea watoto. Kutumia watu please call me. Na uko na iPhone. Shindwe. Rix. Finya hiyo kitu.
Sipishane na babu wewe. Tunasondeka. Yeah. Tunasondeka.
Are you ready?
Tunasondeka. Tunasondeka. Rix. Tunasondeka. 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 Tunasondeka.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Nikuje. Nikuje. Tunasonde koteja kuna soke. Si tu charge kwanza nishalipa token. Charge smartphone sina pin dogo. Kuna mangoko na hapa mimi ndio jogo. Niko na idea, chungo utaingia. Si rahisi uliza hadi Nadia. Mapunyeto saka unadhiki. Na mangeus wako ni mashabiki.
Ikikataa there is no regretting. Tuna switch back to factory setting. Na mimi ndio taa kwa hizi factory zenyu. Na wakakasta so mashoris wenyu. Wamenifuata mtaa, wanasoma menu. Wamenipata njana dishi chakula zenyu. Leo nitaisondeka na hapa ndio venue. Chapati kalia mimi nikicheza na ndengu. Onyesha hiyo mbegu. Mimi si kitabu, siwezi someka. Sipigi kavu, siwezi chomeka. But bado naisondeka mpaka che. Naipiga na naipiga mpaka ilie kama fe.
Tunasafisha mitambo, tukizipeleka worldwide. Anai boy fanya mambo, yeah we pray for your long life. Fix it nai boy. Wasanii mpaka lini kukaliwa chini? Our whole lives oh no. Roundi hii tumekam kuwakomesha, roundi this tumekam kuwasomesha. Tunasondeka. Tunasondeka, domo domo mpaka lini? Usibishane na nyanya yao. Naboesha, tukisondeka, tunasondeka. tunasondeka, tunasafisha mitambo, tunasondeka, tunasondeka, nai mpaka ngambo, tunasondeka, sawa President Kingston, tunasondeka, tunarekebisha.
Alejandro Fisi Alejandro Fisi pima miti utajua ni amulwoja shot na kupea moja kaya Drogba kinyamanyama itabidi umengoja kuna line hujapiga hata oda uliota na kitu inakaka nyoka haina macho lakini inakuona inapenda kuingia na kutoka inapenda joto saa ya mboka
Kevo anadai ananidai na hana ndai etelipe Uber.
Tunasondeka
kwa DM wanakazana ni send news one boobs na madudha behind the scenes nime carry a lot napiga matot kwenye parking lot mbele na wapita na force digi nyuma niwe chumvi kama bibi ya lot sikuli do ni kusave ni waishamba na manga kwa boda ndani ya dice najua luku ni pamba kwa rapo ni pekedo vile nimewabamba kemi uno and you know vile na wafanyanga tumependa sana
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Fading Out is Sondeka by Naiboy alongside many other artists, and it's playing right here on Power Radio. And we have officially come to the end of our show today on the Power Morning Drive Show. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody that was able to tune in. It's always a pleasure to have you guys. It was a special edition of Retire Wednesdays. Thank you especially to James Mwangi for asking and tuning in and asking a question. I hope the answer that we gave you was satisfactory as well. And as we wrap up our show today, it was clear from our discussion that decentering violations is the way to go in if we at all we want to achieve a just Kenya, a free society, regardless of whatever we want to do and whatever we want to go as a nation. Until next time, which next time is Friday, same time, same place. I've been your host, Anne Wanyoike. Thank you so much for tuning in. But do not go away because we have the news, that's amazing. Yes, we have introduced the news bulletin at Power Radio so that you can be up to date with what's happening. But also we have our She Talks show at 11 a.m. So you do want to stick around for that. And also DJ CJ and Elijah Mose will be coming in with Gift of Gab as well. You want to stick around and find out what they shall be talking to you guys about. But from me and the entire crew at Power Radio, it's goodbye and keep safe. We will see you on Friday at 8 a.m. Keep it Power Radio.
Power Radio. Tune in and
dunia
power
mambo ya
up.
kujaza maji ndani ya gunia tuliyavulia lazima kuyaogea ujana ni moshi ndo maana unavutia raha jipe mwenyewe juu hakuna wa kulinganishwa nawe ukitingisha kiperiti chunga tu kulipua baruti mama ni yani ile asilimia vile ujana wa mbona uje tuleleo watapiga vigelegele na kesho wakusulubishe lazima tuwarekebishe ndo maana tunasondeka ikileta shida
gari ni big gutum wivu hapo nyuma bosa boom blue boom wivu mwenye wivu wajichokma uchungu piga umbudum zie pati na mata do pati jo bila panti bala base kata kanyama haina mifupa dada masomo niko sawa nimewasoma ala ni satisfy nikupe certificate baby kamata mandingo happy tabidu me drop your ego na hivi ndo wataheshimu mandiko juu homeboy Naiboy amesham the devil
kwa social media unatutesa wani bola unatutago vlome mako pesa
tunasondeka
ati zako ni ma 5 star na mtaa bado wola liya double decker
tunasondeka
ati wezi kula skuma umezoea chakula ya ule sereni
tunasondeka
kumbe weni client ile bezi nyaga cha podondo pia ukula na deni
tunasondeka
ati juzi ilikuwa holiday Dubai sherehe na nikasi tujui
tunasondeka
pamyaje tena ulionekana nyama kima ndani ya basi za kwenda Kitui
tunasondeka
ati umeshika gari mbichi kazi lesi ucheki kwa movie man
tunasondeka
yoni vako siwa ubebwa na mwangi tunajua uko nduthi gani
tunasondeka
ati wena uhuru muko relate sa unataka tukusikize fiti
tunasondeka
dasa la juladha msea na kujua ni yomwami ama DJ Shiti
tunasondeka
MCSK jizi wamentumia thao 2 so 5
tunasondeka
so napanga kwa vuruga hizo peanuts hatutaki joero kamano
tunasondeka
Night boy to the wild no mpasho middle finger to the paparazzi
tunasondeka
kujifanya hautujui sinifala vijanamu wache miadarati
tunasondeka
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.